Yeah, today we're cemetery bound. Yeah, gonna go visit my closest friend ever. My pal, my best friend, my brother. His name is Jim. Closest friend I've ever had and probably ever will have. Yeah, we lost Jim in 2013 to cancer. Yeah, man, cancer. Ugh, what a piece of shit. I talk to Jim every day. You know, so visiting him is, nothing, nothing crazy. I've done it many times, and I talk to the guy every single day. So, but that's just like when he was alive. We would talk multiple times a day. We were kind of around the same business together. That's how we met. And I remember our first day I met him and kind of looking at each other kind of strange, like, I know you. And it turned out after a couple of meetings, we come from the same area, Ozone Park, New York. And he knew some of the same people, I knew some of the same people. And it was funny because, we had that moment where, he was just like, wait, you're little Rob? And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, you're Jim. And, we just kind of connected from there, and we were inseparable ever since. When you find a pal, you hang on to him, you back him up no matter what. And that's what we did for each other. We backed each other up no matter what. There wasn't even a question. It wasn't, whenever the phone rang and each of us needed something, it wasn't a why, it was a when. No one will ever replace Jim. Not that anyone should, but no one will even come close. I probably won't let it, just the way I am. But yeah, no, when Jim died, that left a huge hole in my life. And he taught me a lot. He really did. He taught me a lot about being a man, and taught me a lot about being a friend, being a brother, what that means. And he was really something. I use what he taught me still every day. He's an awesome guy. Very bombastic. I mean, just a huge personality. He had a huge personality, and he had a heart of gold. I mean, when he loved someone, there wasn't anything on the planet he wouldn't do for them. And that's what he taught me. He taught me that when you love people, you go that extra mile for them. You take care of them. You're always there, even when they don't need you. You're always just a word away. And that's what he taught me. Yeah, I mean, we did everything together. I remember one time we went to a Ranger game, and they were playing Pittsburgh, and I despise anything from Pittsburgh. I went to school near Pittsburgh, so I've heard all the Steelers and Penguins and all that. I just despise that. But hey, I mean, that's people's teams. I get it, that's cool. But I remember there was this group of people from Pennsylvania walking around. I can understand you walking around with your team's jersey, but this one jackass was wearing a Steelers jersey. Like, why would you wear a football jersey to a hockey game unless you're trying to incite people? So, well, he incited it, all right. And big scuffle, big hullabaloo started in the stands, and me and Jim were sitting on an aisle seat. We had really good seats in like the 200 section. If anyone's familiar with MSG. Section 201. Row 13 or row 14, seat 1 and 2. And I remember the hullabaloo broke out, and Jim grabbed me, he's like, come on, let's go. And we ran up the stairs we ran at the trouble. Most people would walk away from it. We're like, no, let's do it. So, and I remember we're scuffling with these people, and I got this one kid by the throat. It wasn't the kid with the Steelers jersey, it was his friend. And I had him by the throat, and I had him with my right hand. My left hand, I'm just whining back to pop this guy right in the face. And I just hear Jim go, oh shit, get out of here. And I look around, Jim takes off, and I look up, and there I am on the Jumbotron, holding this guy by the neck, completely cocked back, ready to knock him one. And I was like, oh shit. So me and him both broke, and we ran for the hills. And then we got back to our seats, and me and Jim were kind of pretending like nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, there was a security guard from MSG sitting on the stairs right next to us, and this was late in the first period, and yeah, he was there well into the third period. He was just sitting around and wasn't saying much, and then after a while, you know, because me and Jim are pretty friendly guys, we we offered him a beer. He didn't want it, you know. We offered him something, he didn't want it, but he started talking to us and everything, and finally the guy looked at me and he's like, I gotta ask, what the hell was that all about? And I said, well, I'm like, we're not troublemakers, but if you come into our house, you better wipe your feet or take your shoes off. I'm like, they didn't. And the guy kind of nodded and he's like, okay, I'll buy that. And he shook our hands. I don't remember his name, but he shook our hands, and he went off on his way, and we watched the rest of the third period unsupervised. But the whole train ride home and everything, oh man, we were laughing our asses off. And Jim looked at me, he's like, I can't believe it, I can't believe you were gonna pop that guy right on TV. I'm like, I don't know if we were on TV. I checked with my friends, we didn't make broadcast TV, but I was definitely on the Jumbotron. But that was Jim, you know. He was ready to go at a moment's notice for you. I mean, granted, yeah, we kind of started that little problem, but you know, we're men. This is what we do. I mean, you could try to, you know, breed us into beta males. You could try to tell us that, you know, we need to be more conscious and caring and compassionate and all that. Yeah, we are all those things, but we're men. Above all else, you know, yeah, we're kind and compassionate and all those things, but, you know, we're men. You know, don't f*** with us. That's basically what it comes down to. That's why I don't mess with anyone. I don't care if they look strong or look feeble or whatever. I just don't mess with people because, number one, it just causes stress. No one wants to deal with that crap. Number two, you don't know who someone is. I mean, you really don't. I'm not saying don't start with people because, oh man, they can make a phone call and wipe you out, but you know, what if they can? Now, you know, you cut someone off and you give someone the finger and you tell them to pull over and you start a big fight and all that, and next thing you know, you go home and someone's knocking at your door. That fight ain't over. But that's the way I grew up, is, you know, don't mess with people because it's just not worth it. You know, but when it's time to mess, then it's time to go. You can't be afraid to go. I just don't like it. You know, but Jim and I, we were, oh man, my mother, whenever she saw us, she'd be like, here comes double trouble. But that guy, you know, I went on my honeymoon. He was the best man at my wedding, and I went on my honeymoon, and he called my mom. I was gone for 10 days with my ex-wife. We went to St. Lucia. It was absolutely beautiful. What a trip that was. That was really awesome. For 10 days, Jim called my mom and dad every day at the same time around 5 p.m. Hey Ma, hey Dad, you guys need anything? You all right? You're good? You're good? And, you know, I know I tried to do his voice, but, you know, Jim had a very gruff way of speaking, but he was, oh man, the guy was aces. I can't say enough about him. But, you know, I was gone for 10 days, and he called my mom and dad just to make sure if they needed anything. Now, my mom and dad, you know, that was a while ago. You know, that was, God, that was 2000, like 12 years ago. So my mom and dad were younger and healthy and could do a lot for themselves. But, you know, Jim didn't care. You know, he felt that, you know, I was away, so everything was on his watch now. You know, that's just the kind of guy he was. I haven't been able to visit him at the cemetery for a while. I think the last time was last summer, because in August, the MS flared up and really hit me hard, and I wasn't really able to go many places, and, you know, to get to the cemetery, even with a cane, and walk on the grass and everything like that, it just, no, it wasn't happening. I mean, I could barely leave the house for a couple of months. So now it's a beautiful day, and I got the time, and thankfully I have the health and the mobility, and I'm gonna go see my pal. This was all blocked off and a mess for a long time. I'm really glad to see that they got it going. Pine Lawn Memorial Park. Now there's Pine Lawn, the Memorial Park. That's for, I guess, you know, regular people. And I'm probably confusing it, but then there's a side just for military personnel and servicemen and women. It's just a beautiful place. It's, you know, it's just a nice, quiet, beautiful place to rest. Gym's all the way up in the back here. Hope I still remember. I think I'm going the right way. Yep, I am. There's the big monument wall. Looks really different. Hope I find him. Oh boy. Don't worry, Jim, I'll find you. He's probably laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah, about 20 friggin' minutes later.
Here we go. Now I know where I am. I found you, buddy. Probably laughed the whole time, but I found you. I brought my brother a nice cold beer. This was his favorite. Ice cold in the can Budweiser. So, he must be thirsty. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, so my brother got his beer. I got to see Jim. So, I think I'm just going to listen to tunes on the way home and kind of zone out a little bit. But I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and taking a ride with me again. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and hit the little bell icon next to it so you can be alerted to anything that I post. And please share this with your family and friends. And remember, if you have someone that you've been wanting to call and you've been putting it off, pick up the phone and call them, because when they're gone, they're really gone. And their silence is deafening. It really is. So go visit someone today, call someone today. Whatever you want to put off till tomorrow, do today. All right? Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.